What's going on, YouTube? This is Daniel Rucker with True Table. Welcome to the table. We're going to go ahead and go in today. I told you guys I was coming with another video, and I'm working on this series this week, specifically for my men. Ladies, feel free to listen in. This is all relative information, quality information in my opinion. So go ahead and take from it as well. But I wanted to touch on 5 things that I feel that every man should have in his character tool belt when you talk about being a whole man. Yesterday we touched on being a great communicator. Today we're going to touch on being a historian, and I'm going to tell you why. And then the 5 things total for those who didn't catch the broadcast yesterday: great communicator, historian, a lawyer, a professor, and a gangster. And I'm going to go over that today as well as tomorrow and then the remainder of this week. And I feel like this is very, very important information for those who are young men, developing, growing, gaining perspective, those who are men who are still on their journey and on their purpose of fully developing. Take the information and apply it where it's necessary and where it works for you. But anyway, without further ado, let me go ahead and get in the kitchen so we can start cooking. You know, that's what we do. That's what we do on this channel, serving up these meals. So why I thought that being not only a great communicator but a historian was important, especially if you're trying to have a successful relationship with a woman. Men, hear me, feel me. Women, collectively, are very, very keen on details and very, very keen on what you do and what you say and then what you don't do. And why that is important is because in order for you to have what I would consider a proper arsenal is, one, you got to apply these skill sets of learning how to listen, paying attention, and really applying the necessary focus when she's giving you information. Now, this can be somewhat difficult at times because by female nature, in most cases, they're very detail oriented. We men, we're a little different. Because we communicate so simplistically in most cases, sometimes I think that the natural expectation is for women to do just the same. Now, I'm not saying that they don't need to brush up on their communication skills, but I also understand that their natural nature usually is to just share and flow and, word vomit on you. And you may not be in a proper state of mind to be digesting and hearing all of this. So what I would encourage you to do is that okay, if you're dealing with a woman and it's your woman and you know this woman, I would encourage you to start learning her patterns. Why? Because when you learn her patterns, there's certain times of the day she may want to talk more. There's certain times of the day that she may want to overload on you. And it would be key for you to apply the necessary focus, or if you don't have the time or attention at that moment, you need to communicate. Going back to yesterday, being a great communicator. Like, babe, you know what? I know what you got to tell me right now is really important. However, right now at this moment, I really got to get this done. Whatever it is, the test, this project for work, whatever it may be. Because you want to be able to give her the proper attention as necessary. Now, I know some of you are probably on here like, well, so I got to stop what I'm doing to listen to her story that I don't care about. No, what I'm saying is, okay, it's important for you to do so for 2 reasons. One, it gives her the necessary inclination that you do care, which you do. Otherwise, you wouldn't be there. As well as it puts you in a position to gather information necessary for conversations to come. See, fellas, what most women do is they communicate in historical context. So they're telling you things that are going to connect. If you don't pay attention, you'll be lost when she gives you this historic exam. And if you don't think it's coming, it's coming. Because she's going to ask you questions about crap that she told you 8.5 months ago that you were like, oh yeah, okay, I see your point. And you weren't even paying no freaking attention. But guess what? She was. And she was expecting that when she told you what she told you about that coworker with the blue shoes who's having an affair with the guy who delivers water and crap again that don't really matter to you, she's expecting that these words are sticking to your memory bank, that for whatever freaking reason, you're going to remember everything she told you. Why? Because she told you. This is why being a historian is important. Because in the managing of your relationship and in the managing of dealing with your woman, it is key, my fellas, key to start to pay attention. Now, I wouldn't encourage this, but if you need to somehow, some way, you know, most people have their phones with them. If you need to like jump on there and turn on your voice recorder app while she's talking so you can take notes or go review it later on when she's not around, then maybe you need to do that. Because I promise you, if you do not learn this skill set, you will hear it. You will feel it because she's gonna test you. It's gonna happen. There was a broadcast that I did not too long ago, and I use the term that women are emotional terrorists, right? I firmly believe that. I really do believe that they're emotional terrorists. And this is one of the practices that they give you information in abundance with a lot of details and a lot of nooks and crannies and all kinds of stuff, from the salad that the girl was eating to the dressing that she used to crap that don't matter, telling you about layered hair and snap-ons and things that us men in most cases don't talk about, don't discuss, right? But it's gonna come up. So it's best that you start to understand, you know, if I'm gonna be a whole man, a solid man, then I need to not only be a great communicator, but I need to be a historian too. Because it's gonna serve me better moving forward, not only in my own personal life, developmentally, you know, having facts, having figures, having statistics makes you a more prepared individual for conversation, debate, discussions in multiple sectors, as well as relationships. And that is why I'm encouraging my brothers, my men's, yo, you gotta be a historian. The only way to be a whole man and have the necessary characteristics and tools to be able to put together your arsenal is applying effort into this particular segment of yourself. If you're not a person who is strong when it comes to listening, that's an opportunity to push yourself. I don't accept as for myself and people who are my colleagues and friends and things like that you just are lackluster, that you don't push yourself to be the best version of yourself. And I know that sounds real cliche because a lot of people are using it, but I do think that it has some relevant power behind it, that you should be looking to be your absolute best self. So if you're gonna do this relationship thing, and if you're gonna show up as the man that I know that you're capable of being, then learning this skill is a huge part of that, being successful in that space. So that's what I want to touch on today. Just briefly, not too crazy. Like I said, I'm gonna do this broadcast this week. This series is specifically for the men, the toolkit and the characteristic necessary to be a whole man. Today we touched on a historian. I appreciate you guys for hanging out with me today. While I have your attention, go ahead and hit that like button. Go ahead and subscribe, share the content. I gladly appreciate it. Now I'm gonna keep coming to you guys with this content and this information. I'm gonna tap in tomorrow. We're gonna touch on the whole lawyer aspect. Should be interesting. Go ahead and slide out this kitchen. Getting hot. Thank you guys.